And now, it's time for Socially Awkward Media with Levack and Goss. Awkward on 104.5 The Team.
You know, it's rare that everything times out perfectly in the universe. Right when big voice guys started talking about things being socially awkward, I looked over your shoulder. There was a furniture commercial on TV, and it looked like the woman had her hand down her pants sleeping on the couch.
Ugh.
And I was like, role reversals. That used to be a guy thing. That was a little awkward.
What is more awkward commercials? The furniture random person talking to you on bed or couch, or lawyer commercial with camera way too close to lawyer face?
Anything with a lawyer is awkward. But there's that one furniture guy who's always screaming now. I can't. I know him. I know him personally, and that's just him. That's really him. He'll talk to you in like 6 different voices in one conversation. So that's probably the most awkward one. There
was this lawyer commercial that used to run back home in Syracuse where it's like no matter what, like 1:30, 2:15 in the morning, the lawyer's really close to the camera. He's like, "Hi, do you need help right now? Do you need help?" Whoa, dude! Whoa! What are you, my house? Well, get out of here!
The answer is yes, because I'm in your window.
We start off with this tweet. Our pal Chet Davis from CBS 6.
Chet, you betcha.
CW15. He's helping us get going for next week's fantasy football week. Once a day, maybe twice a day, we'll have some fantasy football experts joining us, prepping you for your fantasy football drafts. Chet tweeted this to me. He wrote, 2017 version of me. I'm never drafting Mike Evans ever again. 2018 version of me, I'm drafting Mike Evans first overall after watching his highlights in the preseason. There's always that type of player every year in fantasy football for somebody.
Well, you and I shuffled trash last year. I had Evans, you had Amari Cooper. I'm a Raiders fan, you're a Bucs fan. So it was like, they both suck. Do you want to at least have a guy from your favorite team on? Sure, okay. Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad we got the work league back, by the way. Shout out to our guy, Pete. Pete was having second thoughts. We had to convince him. You had to convince him.
I stood in his doorway to his office just crying until he said, fine, I'll do it.
Get out. Donovan wrote this in. Donovan wrote in, guys, maybe the UFC should start doing this. It's a picture of Triple G and Canelo Alvarez weighing in and hitting a weight limit 30 days before their fight. The UFC has had some issues in the past of fighters either missing weight or cutting too much weight too fast. Levack, what do you make of this? Maybe the UFC adjusting the ways in which fighters should weigh in before fights for their health and safety.
But didn't, you know what? It's definitely a good idea, but like how often is there actually an issue in the UFC? Like there's been like 1 or 2, right? It's not like
Nunes is the one who jumps out to me. Cormier when he was pushed on the towel. Like those are big names.
Yeah.
But you're saying like it maybe seems like a bigger issue because it's bigger name fighters.
And it's been more recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea when you pose it the way you did of is this better for people's health? Like, hey, you haven't cut to this point yet. For you to make weight would be unhealthy. I like that idea a lot.
I do too, and I'm also glad that Donovan didn't zoom in when they're getting weighed in because there's certain angles of weigh-ins that can be, I'll just say, not appropriate. We'll move on. I put this guy back into socially awkward media just because of his name. He's tweeted twice in his entire career on Twitter. He is an egg, and his name is Bonch McDurf. Bonch McDurf wrote in when we were talking about the Cleveland Browns and the Bud Light special that if the Browns win a game, they're going to be giving out free Bud Light in respective bars in Cleveland. Bonch McDurf wrote, they won't win this year, and that beer will be skunked and terrible by the time they actually open it.
I do like that when we call them out, he put his normal Twitter handle up and went, yeah, this is my burner account. I'm Kilimanjaro. That's mine. So that, like, I think he's wrong. I think Cleveland's going to be really good this year, actually. And by really good for Cleveland, remember, 6 wins is 6 times as many wins as they had last year.
Speaking about Cleveland, we got to have like a new issue on the show here involving Hard Knocks.
I'm sorry, 6 wins is 5 more wins than they've had in the last 2 years combined. Okay, I'm sorry, but Hard Knocks, go ahead.
No, back to Hard Knocks, right? No, but that's a good point there. 1 in the last 2. Is Hard Knocks a spoiler-free show? Because I know I've like talked to you about this, like not to spoil Hard Knocks for me because I'm behind on it. But does that count? Because the stuff they're talking about is a week old already. Like Corey Coleman got traded. That's already news to everybody. Des Bryant's visiting Cleveland. We know Des Bryant's on the way. It's a tough show to figure out whether or not you can have spoilers or not.
I think it's pretty obvious. Like there's something that happens right in the beginning that when you see it, you're going to be very into. It's going to be entertaining to you. So I know not to tell you exactly what it is. You know, the stuff that happens during the Browns-Giants preseason game, you've seen. So I have no problem telling you. Yeah, man, Callaway was in that whole game. You can see he was sucking wind. Like, that's not a big deal.
My wife loves Hard Knocks. It's the coolest thing ever because she has no idea of any of the stuff going on. So, like, when a certain thing happened at the beginning of the episode, she turned to me like, whoa, that quick? Like, yeah, that quick. It was awesome.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is like if you want to get your significant other, and I'm saying this because there's some women who date men who don't like sports, you got to find that gateway drug. Like 61 is a great baseball movie that people who don't like baseball will love. Hard Knocks, great football show that people who don't even like football will like.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights is another one, too, by the way. Friday Night Lights kind of goes half and half. Our Facebook page was an all-timer this week. Let's put it like this. There was some bizarre stuff coming on through our Facebook page this week. Let's start with this one. A question was posed on our Facebook page. Who should the New York Yankees consider to be in their starting rotation going forward? Adam wrote in, I'm sure Roger Clemens would hop off his tractor and pitch.
I mean, the right amount of injections is probably not the worst option. And we all know Susan would be very excited. Oh, my God, he's been... Oh, wait. Am I allowed to be excited, John? Oh, I can't... John! Roger Clemens is in hanging Hal Steinbrenner's box.
Susan couldn't handle it. Susan would retire.
She just explode.
She would explode.
Her head, a bloody pulp, just...
Then this one happened. You, I think, had written a piece about how Mike Rodak or Sal Capaccio, Jenna Cottrell, Jenna Cottrell, thank you. Yeah, Jenna Cottrell had said that Josh Allen seems like the real deal. A comment underneath from Nicholas said this, yeah, and I bet Jim Kelly is too. And then another comment also underneath, Nick, different person, wrote, Jim Kelly's in the Hall of Fame, LOL.
Yeah, it was, so it started with, they said these same things about Tyrod Taylor and Jim Kelly too. And I was like, well, if he's the same as Jim Kelly, good. We'll go with that. That'll be okay. No, it just goes to show you how biased fans are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you hate the Bills, everybody in Rochester right now sucks.
That plus sometimes people will just want to write whatever they want and think whatever they want to think. Like they're taking shots at Jim Kelly even though he's the greatest quarterback in Bills. Okay.
Apparently you weren't there for Fitz Magic.
I guess not. You know, it's also like
J.P. Lossman.
We had this comment come on our Facebook page. We posted this over the weekend. Our guy closer, Brian Mariano, if you follow our Facebook page, the Panic Pass, 1045theteam.com, he will give you selections going into a race. And it will be titled Closers Saratoga Picks or Closers Saratoga Selections. Richard, underneath a post that said Closers Saratoga Selections, wrote, thanks a lot for the tips yesterday, Levack.
Yeah. Again, there are people out there who just dislike me and will blame me for anything. So it's and I'm all right with it because as long he did actually spell my name right, so I accept it.
It said Closers Picks. He wrote, thanks a lot, Levack.
Listen, he's obviously not smart. Come on.
Well, we also had Andrea, who wrote into this one. Levack, you got a note from one of your... Andrea, thank you. Andrea, I've heard it pronounced both ways, but I think you know this person. You got a letter from one of your fans, we'll call her, or him, Yaz, and you posted the video online on her Facebook page. She wrote in, why didn't I ever think of doing this? Are you nervous that more people who love the Red Sox may be emailing or snail mailing the station now?
No, because they're Red Sox fans. They'll be quiet in October like usual.
Oh! You do enjoy Yaz's letters, though, right? You enjoy the good old-fashioned Yaz, her beautiful, or his beautiful writing, whoever she or he is.
Whatever Yaz is, I do, because I think of Yaz almost never. I think of Yaz when Yaz's card comes in. And it's like, oh, Yaz thought of me. Yaz must have, like, a picture of me on, like, their fridge. And, like, half the time they're writing on it with red marker. The other half they're, like, making out with it. You know what I mean?
I wasn't gonna use this one, but we had Boots who wrote in. Boots wrote in #swimfan.
She's cool. She's funny. Well, because
she was in on the joke, so good for her.
Well, yeah, no, she for whatever reason she likes herself some big fat Levack. You know what I mean? So she what's up, girl? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's all. Yeah.
Dana wrote this comment. We had to post we'll call it a correspondent piece. Usually correspondent pieces are on air with us, but sometimes one of our producers will do a correspondent piece online. Opinion piece, prediction, whatever the case may be.
Basically what happened was one of our producers wrote something that Goz knew was going to start trouble, so he posted it.
Yep. 900 words he wrote. Close to 1,000 words.
Every word he knows.
He wrote about how Sam
3
Darnold
times.
is not the future for the New York Jets. How Sam Darnold's going to be awful, terrible, all these things. Shout out to Mike James who wrote it. But Mike James even told me yesterday, he goes, man, I got a lot of comments about that article. Some people hated it. Yeah, they did, Mike. Dana wrote in, don't quit your day job, producer. I feel like that's a lame insult, though. Like, that's the go-to insult when you're a producer for a show.
It's basically saying you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like go back to sweeping floors or whatever it is that you do that you're actually skilled at.
Producing radio shows, dealing with sound. You know, quit your day job,
Again.
writer. Quit talking, writer.
Let's keep him going back to the, you know. I think the word producer is used very lightly lately.
That's 100% true. The last comment, our winner of Socially Awkward Media. I haven't said this one on the air yet. I've told you this one off the air this week. I have called this comment, quite possibly, the greatest comment in the history of the Socially Awkward Media segment.
Okay.
I got this comment over the weekend. I tweeted out a picture of myself eating Chick-fil-A. My sister and my dad were competing in a national CrossFit regional competition.
Are there pictures of that?
There are pictures of it. There's videos of it. My sister's out there like hang cleaning and power cleaning. It's insane. Good for her. Shout out to my sister Kara. She's doing big things.
I need to see those.
I'll send them to you. Anyways, this is a real tweet I got. I tweeted like, haha, my dad and sister are competing on eating Chick-fil-A. Steven wrote this tweet to me on Saturday. Quote, you're spelled wrong right out of the gate. You're driving like a blind chicken whose family is working out to get around, unlike you. Just kidding, just kidding. You're, again spelled wrong, awesome, not quite number 1 the show, but a close 1A. Levack, can you translate that for me?
Sure can. That is someone who's been listening to the show long enough to know that you are a terrible driver. So they made fun of your driving. They made fun of the fact that your family is a bunch of fitness nuts. You're not. And that you're basically second best on a 2-person show. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and convince myself happened, because by insulting you, they're complimenting me. I am going to convince myself that person was just so excited because they had so many inside digs they were about to drop on you that they screwed a lot of things up.
They screwed a lot of things up on that tweet. Steven, we appreciate you listening. And because of you, I have actually changed my Twitter profile because of you. That tweet is so epic. I have now changed my Twitter profile at Tom Goss, TOMGOZZ, and again, at the Jeff Levack is Levack's, Facebook.com/1045 the team, and at 1045 the team is our social media, always open to you. At Tom Goss, TOMGOZZ, I've changed it to once called a top 2 host on Levack and Goss.
I wonder if we redid a video, if we did a video where like you're interviewing me and I Jalen Ramsey every media person in the market, like Roger Weiland, trash.
Brittany DeVane, short.
Brittany DeVane, I don't know if she's good or she's got Chet, you betcha. You know what I mean? Like just
Gardner Royce, fake name.
Yeah, right. Just go through each one of them and Jalen Ramsey them. Do you think they'd get it or all be offended?
Ooh.
I think they'd all be offended. Let's do it.
I think they would be too. No. I think radio people would. What do you think would get offended more quickly? Radio, print, or television people with that?
Print.
I agree.
Yes.
Print. Radio people, I think, would take it in stride. TV people would, depends
on.
Well,
radio people know me closer. Mm-hmm. So of the group, they know me the closest. So they would understand the joke, I think. TV people would probably laugh because they just assume I'm going to do something stupid.
But if it was a physical dig at something they like wear or like how they look, they would freak out.
Yeah,
more.
I can't do that.
Chris Honorado knows he has red hair though.
Yeah, he's aware. You're an idiot. What are we doing next?
How about let's do a little Golick and Wingo rewind brought to you by Copier.com. Golick Jr. was talking on there, and the voice of Schenectady. Find out who that is.
Very interesting. Crazy, completely jumbled Levack and Goss show thanks to the Yankees-Rays game earlier today. Golick Wingo rewind next.